Lots happening in the XRP ecosystem. Today we're going to be breaking down their major event and what has been revealed today. You don't want to miss it. My name is Paul Barrow. Welcome back into Tech Path. Speaking of XRP, I want to thank our sponsor, and that is Tangem. Did you know that you can hold your XRP over on Tangem? And all you have to do is visit tangem.com to get one of these great wallets out there on thousands of coins and tokens, including XRP. Just hit the Get Tangem button. It's going to give you a special discount. If you use our link down below, make sure and get the 3-card set. I like these new colors. Those are pretty cool. But get the 3-card set and make sure and use our link. Anyway, let's get into it. A couple of things I want to hit on today. I'm going to jump over to the first tweet that just kind of shows the size of what's happening here. They came out, it's that because the line goes all the way up in there. That's pretty good. With in terms of the people who showed up for this event. That's a good thing, I think, overall. I want to go to a clip that kind of breaks down a little bit of where they started. This, of course, is David Schwartz on the state of the XRPL ecosystem. Take a look.
It is fully decentralized. And unlike on most other blockchains, those nodes are enforcing censorship resistance as well. We're probably the only major blockchain with no in-protocol incentives for block production or running a validator. People run validators because they want the network to work. There's more than 5 million active XRP wallet holders, and that's a real number. For example, on UTXO-based blockchains like Bitcoin, a single user probably has a number of addresses, and they're using the ledger directly, right? There's a lot of people who hold Bitcoin, hold Ether, who will never use those blockchains directly. These are people who are actually potential customers for projects built on the XRP ledger because they have access to the ledger. They have their money on-chain. There's over 1,750 apps, exchanges on mainnet. The number of contributors building projects of different types on the XRP ledger is enormous. The gaming and metaverse space is a little bit on the small side, but it's been very exciting and interesting. Companies like Forte.
So you look at Forte and just the connection within their own ecosystem, Aleo and their Cosmos, ETH, Ripple, obviously, and then Solana. And one, of course, is Zynga, who partnered with Forte for blockchain-based game development. I think this is going to be an area for XRP, for Ripple, that is going to really explode. Remember, we did a video with Futureverse, and this is them tweeting a little bit here, reflecting on 11 companies, because remember, there's a whole bunch of companies that merged into one, 30-plus products, all of that now tied in to the launch of the Root network. So a lot happening there. If you guys have not seen that video, go back and watch Aaron McDonald on that video, because it breaks down a lot of what's happening within their organization that ties into the use of the XRPL. So good stuff all around. I want to go into another clip here. This gets into Brad Garlinghouse and, the comparison of Apex overseas versus what we saw in Las Vegas here in the United States. Take a look.
I mean, look, there are 3 times as many people here as the last Apex.
Yeah, I mean, I think the latest tally was 700 or 800 attendees. So.
That's about right.
Wow. Yeah.
With the time when I joined, we had about 80 people. Now we have hundreds and hundreds of people, and so I feel like we can do more things. The culture of the whole XRP community, which has just been phenomenal, is like, how do you create small groups who get a lot of shit done? Let's try stuff, and if it doesn't work, that's okay. We try again.
Just to clarify, I'm usually on the do fewer things side of that argument.
When you look at kind of just the scope of Ripple and the fans of Ripple, there's a very different category of enthusiast around this. So the fact that they got close to 1,000 people in Amsterdam is pretty significant. Garlinghouse also released the name of the stablecoin. Take a look.
In the 10 or some odd years you've been working together, you've never shared a stage.
That's true.
Crazy, isn't it?
Yeah.
Let's talk about maybe the new name of the stablecoin.
Let's do that. David made some news earlier this morning. More news that we're going to...
It's like a gender reveal conference.
That's why they need both parents. The name of the Ripple stablecoin will be RLUSD. I like to call it Real USD, Ripple USD. Having liquidity on-chain, having the bridging, frankly, better on-ramps and off-ramps, that's good for everybody.
You really do need both. If you're going to have an AMM, there has to be at least 2 assets, right, that people are trading. If you're going to have liquidity, it has to be liquidity between 2 assets. And the XRP has a privileged place on the XRP ledger. Through pathfinding, always looks for XRP liquidity first. The auto bridging causes trades to automatically look at XRP liquidity where they don't automatically look at any other liquidity. So XRP is always going to have a privileged place as a bridge asset on the XRP ledger, and the stablecoin ecosystem is not going to change that. It's just going to enable more use cases.
Part of that abstraction we're talking about for mass adoption, I mean, this is on the enterprise side, but they want a problem solved.
That's good. I like the name, Real USD. That could probably stick around, I think. And remember, their idea is to really transplant the Tether ecosystem. And what they're talking about in terms of liquidity and the opportunity here in the relationship to a token, meaning XRP, makes a lot of sense. This is a clip where they address the size of the market. Take a look.
The current market cap of stablecoins is around $160 billion, and it's growing so rapidly that number is, it's going to be obsolete by in months. The market value of tokenized U.S. securities alone is $1.5 billion. That number is probably different by the time I get off this stage. And of course, the growth of tokenized assets, $16 trillion forecast by 2030. I think that's probably going to be conservative.
And I would agree. I think if you look at the strength of the market, what we've seen not only with BlackRock, what we've seen in various chains out there, whether it's someone like Chainlink, what's happening with the Avalanche ecosystem, one of the things he hits on is AMMs. And this is versus things like an Ethereum AMM. Let him explain this, because this gets into tokenized assets. There's a lot to this. Take a look.
So what does Ripple think that we need for the XRP ledger to benefit from this? We have the automated market maker. It launched in March of this year. And so on most EVM-based chains, you just don't have order books. You only have AMMs. The XRP ledger has order books. So if you have an automated market maker between, say, XRP and a USD stablecoin, it will get revenue not just from market making, but also from volatility harvesting. Let's say you're an arbitrager and you calculate that you could make $100 a day. And you might bid, let's say, $90 a day to make that $100 a day, which means instead of the liquidity providers losing $100 a day, they only lose $10 a day, which reduces impermanent loss and increases yield.
This is one of the things that's different between what you see in the Ethereum ecosystem, and I think the volatility comparison that David's talking about there, David Schwartz, really starts to kind of level that out in terms of liquidity opportunities. I know this gets into a complexity, but the idea is this is good for the ecosystem, especially around stablecoins. He talks a little bit more also around XRPL and the EVM announcement. Take a look.
Interoperability, extremely, extremely important. Announcement, it has a name. I wanted to call it Niobium, I lost. It is called the XRPL EVM sidechain. I want you to think of that as a true part of the XRP ecosystem. XRP will be its native token, and it will be able to address that long tail of use cases. So Axelar is going to provide the bridge for the native token. Anybody who wants to can provide other bridges for other tokens, but you do have to have one bridge for the native token, the gas token. That's going to be provided by Axelar. So it took, 2 years to bring AMMs onto the XRP ledger? Let's say somebody said, hey, I want to do securities derivatives with leverage trading and some other weird thing on it, over collateralization, blah, blah, blah. You could launch that on an EVM sidechain in probably 2 months, and it's much easier to find developers. So we have to be realistic. If we don't have a place inside our ecosystem for those projects to go, they're going to go elsewhere. We have to connect. If we don't connect, we will not be able to get mass adoption. It'll always be limited to a bunch of privileged rich people. That's not exciting.
Well, he is right there. Axelar, remember we showed this on a video maybe last week, kind of showcasing some of the connection points. I think it was on our Microsoft and Meta video that we did last week, but this is the real world assets connection there. You've got Circle, Ondo, Provenance, which we showcased there, Microsoft, Onyx over JP Morgan, and then even in the infrastructure, Celestia, Filecoin, etc. So the point being is this is what he's talking about, the capacity for it to get into mass adoption. Real world assets, I think, are going to be one of the key areas that they're going to really accelerate on for sure. And was on the press statement, is their experience in cross-chain bridge technology recognized throughout industry, having managed integrations ranging from Uniswap to Microsoft. So again, that is the connection that we see down the road, that we could start to see a lot of opportunities here kind of floating around the Ripple ecosystem, much more than what they've been in, which has mostly been the banking industry. What happens if they start to really branch out into all these other areas, gaming, what we'll see in real world assets, tokenized securities, all those kind of things represent a huge opportunity for growth. Another one to get into is getting into a little bit about what Uphold is doing. And this goes into kind of the XRP community, and not only the XRP community, but kind of their DNA, what they do. So take a look at this.
So to begin, Uphold was the only exchange in the United States that did not delist XRP. How did this impact Uphold as a company?
I would say when the decision came out last summer that XRP was not a security, and everybody finally decided to join the party and list it, we didn't know if all of our users would have all these choices. But really important for us was that in the time that we were able to build this relationship with the XRP community, we saw, less than 5% of our users try other exchanges. So everybody stayed with us. So while I appreciate the clapping, I would say at the heart of blockchain and crypto is community. And I felt like that in spades when we stayed with XRP and then the XRP community stayed with us. At that point, it became a risk decision and we took the risk, and I think it paid off for everybody.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Remember, Uphold is doing precious metals. This kind of ties into the mentality of long-term holders on XRP. They're tying into a psyche, I believe, of how XRP investors and holders think. And that's going to be important because this could start to open up a lot of different products and services for Uphold in the future. I want to go to another couple of clips here because this gets into some things that are really going to next level. This one is talking about Uphold and neobanking for XRP. Take a look.
First thing I would say is the number one piece of feedback that I get from the XRP community is how do I get return on my assets, right? How do I get passive return on all of these assets that I'm holding? Because it's a big holding community. So, we are talking with the team about the AMM and, integrating the native DEX in our self-custodial wallet. So one of the other things we're doing is we're really working on almost features that I would call a crypto neobank. So you'll see us come out with ability to earn interest, the ability to use your crypto for payments, for direct deposit, for bill pay, all those types of things as well.
Okay, so she hit on a lot of things, neobank, all the services. This is something I've talked about many times, and that is at some point, we're going to have a bank or an entity that will allow us to do bill pay, allow us to do payroll, which I think is going to be huge in terms of an opportunity in the future. Because there's a lot of online services, whether it's ADP, Gusto, all those kind of companies that are out there that have not broken over into blockchain just yet. Someone could come in and sweep up that market pretty easily. Could it be an Uphold? We'll see. Last up was the idea around what else would they announce at this event? Well, Guarding House teased it a little bit. Take a look.
For Ripple, are you guys going to be tokenizing money market funds and the like? Is that an opportunity that maybe is missed?
Well, it's an opportunity for the XRPL, for sure. We're not going to play in every space. We may partner, help catalyze, and in fact, one of the things that maybe we'll talk more about tomorrow, because it's Apex, we announce things as we go, is along those lines. But
all right, well, there you have it. We're going to have some meta tomorrow, and it's coming in hot, I think. I think they're probably going to drop a bomb on the industry. I think they're going to be dropping maybe something pretty big. Obviously, stablecoins, EVMs, those were big announcements, huge announcements, really. But this one to the next level, maybe they're saving something really, really special for the end. Don't know. You never know with some of these event organizers. But the fact that we could see something moving into the money market space, especially around tokenization there, very interesting financial products that could start to make its way in all sorts of financial markets. So, all right, so if you're not in the Diamond Circle, make sure and jump in there. It's a great place to get additional content. And of course, if you want to follow me on X, it's just @PaulBaron. We'll catch you next time right here on TechBath.